Good morning, everyone, and welcome into yet another episode of Wake and Take. We've made it to double digits. This is episode 10, and this time I'm out in the sunrise morning of Atlanta skyline. It looks beautiful. If you could hear it outside, I don't know if you can. Someone's flying a drone near my apartment. It's very loud for me. I hope you guys can't hear it. I really do. But we've got tons of news coming in from the NFL. Trade rumors, players being released, all of that fun stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for the entire episode, and let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, so we're just going to start small and work our way up, as it was for the most part a pretty slow news day compared to some of the other episodes that we've had so far. So first off, I've read that Odell Beckham is working out in Arizona today, not like with the Cardinals at the Cardinals facility, but just simply in Arizona. He's looking for a long-time home is what the tweet said. He's trying to, I guess, be in a sunny desert state, and that's what he's doing. He's working out in Arizona, and yeah, I mean, there's not much more to that. I don't even think it's with any other players or anything. He's just out there working out. He's trying to get into game shape, so could be exciting, could be good stuff. Who really knows? Who really knows? Some team is going to sign him. We all thought last year that was going to be the year, but no, it's going to be this year that a team signs him, and we'll see what that means. I would imagine he's not going to produce as well as he had in the past, and he's more than likely just going to be a complementary piece in an offense that just needed another wide receiver. It'll be exciting, though. Everyone loves some good Odell Beckham. Yeah, and as the Harry Snowman says in the YouTube chat, Odell will never be the Odell we all remember, and that's just true. That's just true. But, will he still make a couple good catches a game? Probably, and that's still pretty exciting. So glad to see he's working out. Glad he's trying to get into game shape. I'm excited to see where he does end up, and honestly, I'm also just excited to see what kind of contract he gets, if it's even expensive or anything like that. So that's it about Odell Beckham. We had some players released around the NFL this morning. It just came in that Adam Thielen was officially released last night. Adam Schefter reported that it would happen, and that was about a week after our very own Jack Kavanaugh reported that on his Player Profiler today. He had a Vikings episode, and he already had said that Adam Thielen would end up being a cap casualty. And, well, it happened. It happened. So that's why you tune in to Player Profiler. We always know what's going to happen a little bit before it actually does. And Adam Thielen, unfortunately, has already been released by the Minnesota Vikings. It's KJ Osborne season. It's Justin Jefferson season. It's TJ Hawkinson season. Not that the last two were getting really opportunity taken away by Thielen. More than likely, it's just the KJ Osborne season. I think even with this news, he's still going to be cheap to acquire. Well, not cheap to acquire, but reasonable to acquire in any fantasy league. And you're going to get a wide receiver too on a really good offense. So if you could go get KJ Osborne, I think that would be nice. I don't think you'd have to give up too much to do it, not too much. So Adam Thielen released. It does always suck when the homegrown players don't finish their career on the team, which is why it honestly surprised me that Adam Thielen wouldn't take a pay cut. I just figured he would want to stay on the Vikings forever, but apparently not. And he's getting released. Another player that has been on a team for a while is Braxton Berrios. He's been released by the Jets. What's interesting about this is that these rumors about Aaron Rodgers coming to New York are heating up. They are getting hotter and hotter by the second. And someone on their own little stream last night, someone named Sauce Gardner, said that if an Aaron Rodgers deal to New York happens, it would be a package deal. And he wouldn't talk about the players packaged. But if Braxton Berrios is released, right, which just happened, then it might make sense that they could be bringing in Aaron Rodgers and his buddy Randall Cobb, something like that, just to fill that slot. I've seen some rumors that it could be David Bakhtiari that comes in to help shore up the offensive line, but it's looking like it's not just going to be Aaron Rodgers heading to the Jets. So I'm excited to see what that means. Hopefully it's not Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon. That would suck for Breece Hall. But either way, I think that that's a fun little rumor, fun little tidbit brought in from Sauce Gardner on his stream last night, that if Aaron Rodgers does come to the Jets, it'll probably be a package deal and someone's coming with him. And I think with Braxton Berrios being released, it's probably going to be Randall Cobb. And I think that'd be pretty fun to see them both in a different green uniform. Ian Rappaport reported last night that Levante David will likely be testing the tight end, will likely be testing the free agent market. I saw a tight end in the chat, got in my head. But so Levante David, one of the better linebackers in the league, is probably not going to be able to return to Tampa Bay. The return has not been ruled out per Ian Rappaport, but they do have tons of cap issues on that team, and so he's likely one of the players that's going to have to leave because he's not going to get paid the way he deserves to get paid. And with a team that's going through a lot right now, if you're a really good player, you can leave. There's no hard feelings there. So Levante David is likely leaving the Buccaneers. That's it on the players release news that I have. I want to jump back to Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and just our overall arching theme that Player Profiler is in the know. My fellow trade god brethren, Matty Kiwoom, has a cousin who's a contractor in New York and apparently has heard that the New York Jets have green-lighted the construction for the darkest route to ever exist in New York. So that's definitely something interesting. We know that Aaron Rodgers just went on his darkness retreat, and then to find out that a dark room is being contracted by the Jets, I don't really know how much more you can spin it. It really seems like Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Jets, and I mean, I like it. I think it's a great landing spot. Garrett Wilson is going to be a great asset to own in fantasy. Breece Hall is going to be a great asset to own in fantasy. We've seen what he's done for pass catching running backs in the offense. And then if they bring in Randall Cobb, you can throw him in lineups. If they bring Robert Tonyan, which I see a chat about Robert Tonyan, that could be fun. So I know I talked about this yesterday, but again, it's kind of a slow news day and it's getting more and more confirmed. It's getting more and more confirmed that the Jets are bringing in Aaron Rodgers. So a trade came in, and and this also involves the Jets. Funny enough, the Ravens are sending safety Chuck Clark to the Jets, and currently this guy, he's a safety and a pretty good safety at that. Pretty good. I'll leave it at that. He actually right now has the record for most consecutive snaps played in the NFL, like current active players. He's had like 1,500 or something consecutive plays played last season, and didn't come off the field, didn't get injured. So he's going to be an important part to their defense. And I mean, that's just a dangerous secondary. You've got Sauce Gardner and now Chuck Clark. And in terms of the Ravens, it's Kyle Hamilton's season. They drafted him at number 14 last year. And now he's going to have a true opportunity, not behind Marcus Williams and Chuck Clark and coming in every once in a while. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in there frequently. And I mean, if he's used like Chuck Clark, you could see him ending up getting this consecutive snaps record. So if you're in IDP leagues or if you're just a Ravens fan, try to get some Kyle Hamilton in IDP leagues and go buy yourself a Kyle Hamilton jersey. If you're a Ravens fan and you don't play in IDP leagues, I think we could be seeing a good season from him. Some other trade rumors, not official trades, but it's looking like the Vikings are looking into trading Dalvin Cook. They have received offers, and he's refused a pay cut for this team. So it makes sense that he would be traded if he's not willing to take a pay cut. And I mean, they're ready to move on. Then, well, I guess it's time to trade him. They're going to get a pretty solid return for him. They're going to be able to replace him in the draft or even free agency. We have a loaded free agency running back class with Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, Jeff Wilson, Devin Singletary, Damian Harris, Kareem Hunt, Jamal Williams, Raheem Mostert, Rashad Penny, Jerick McKinnon, and Alexander Madison. I do think if Dalvin Cook ends up getting traded that we will see Alexander Madison end up re-signing with the Vikings. You do tend to see players who play well in systems who are asked to produce and then do produce. They do usually end up being re-signed, and it's not like he's going to be expensive. So keep your eye on that. I think that would be a good dart throw to take in fantasy football leagues going to trade for Alexander Mattison, because if Dalvin Cook is traded, I do think they would re-sign him, and he probably wouldn't end up as the Val cow. I think they still would probably draft a running back, but at least for the first few games of the season, he could probably have that role. And if injuries happen, all this stuff, even just vulturing touchdowns, as we saw a couple times last season too. I think he could be a decent depth piece in fantasy football, and maybe sometimes started depending on matchups, depending on what happens with this team. But he's very cheap to acquire, Alexander Mattison, perhaps free in most leagues. So if he's available, go pick him up. If he's not available, go throw a third-round pick at him maybe and just see what happens. I think that that's a fun move, and I think that's a good move. Yesterday, compensatory picks came in, and I'm just going to read you the picks from the third round and fourth round because there's plenty. There's plenty that came in, especially for the fifth, sixth, and seventh round. And yes, players do end up hitting that are drafted in those late rounds, but more often than not, they really don't. So let's just focus on these earlier picks that came in. The first compensatory pick goes to the Cardinals, the 96th pick in the third round. 96th overall pick and the 33rd pick in the third round. The 34th pick goes to the Commanders. The 35th pick in the third round goes to the Browns. The 49ers will get the 36th pick in the third round, the 38th pick in the third round, and the 39th pick in the third round. So the 49ers got 3 third-round compensatory picks this year, which I think they could, I think they're at least going to hit on one of those. I'm excited to see who they pick with those, and I'm probably going to be drafting them in fantasy just because it's a good offense. And I think it could be someone special that they bring in with one of those picks. The Kansas City Chiefs will have the 37th overall pick in the third round, which is 100th overall. And the Patriots, they got the only fourth round compensatory pick. They got the 33rd pick in the fourth round, which is 135 overall. Those are the compensatory picks, at least in the earlier rounds. We'll see what happens with those. I'm glad they finally came in. On our website. Now, for those of you watching on Instagram right now, if you'd like to tune into YouTube, I'm about to start sharing my screen. Start sharing my screen. There's some stuff to talk about. On our website. So let me share. Okay. So yesterday on our website, not only did we update the draft section, so if you click on the NFL draft area, everything has been updated. Well, I know we were working on kind of updating one thing this morning, so it might not be active right now. No, it is. Okay, so this is what our new NFL draft section looks like. It's been revamped. It's got everything you can need or would need trying to keep up with the NFL draft. So we've got the draft order. Every single pick right now, day 1, day 2, day 3, every single pick is in there accurate. It has the team record, the total draft picks that each team has, all that fun stuff. It will be updated frequently if trades come in. The mock draft index. This is really fun. This is great stuff. It indexes every single major mock draft. You can click over here and you'll see Bleacher Report, CBS, Draft Blaster, Draft Network, ESPN, PFF, Draft Tech, Player Profiler, Pro Football Network, Sports Illustrated, all sorts of stuff. These mock drafts are taken and then they're compiled. The data comes together and then it creates what like the actual order is based on how this is indexed. So this is like Bryce Young is the number 1 overall right now. Will Anderson's 2, Jalen Carter 3, all of this stuff. And it goes all the way down to right now 77. And, as the mock drafts get bigger, so will the mock draft index. We have the big board with the top 50 prospects. That'll get updated. Right now we just have 5, but we're going up to 50 very soon. And that just has, essentially the top 5. And it has their height, weight, their projected round, all of that fun stuff. And then, of course, our mock draft analysis section. This is great stuff. It's got Cody's mock drafts and then just all the draft analysis from all of our Player Profiler analysts. So make sure you go check that out on playerprofiler.com/NFL-draft. Now, here's the fun part. Yesterday we rolled out player comparables for the rookies, which is one of the better parts of our site. It just takes historical context and for what type of player they are. And so you can go to rookie pages. I thought it was for all of them, but I guess it's not all of them. Jordan Addison doesn't have. But for example, I know Bijan Robinson's came in. So let's see, here he is. And he is Marshawn Lynch. So if you were curious about who Bijan Robinson's closest comparable is, we've got Marshawn Lynch. I want to say we had Roschon Johnson as Josh Jacobs. Let's see, another rookie here, Jahmyr Gibbs. Who's he compared to? If it'll load. It does not want to load at all. It does not want to load. So I'm just going to stop sharing. I'm just going to stop sharing. But if you're curious what players and rookies are comparable to, go ahead and check out our website, as those have been rolling out. And it's good stuff. You know, it takes into account all of their workout metrics, their build, everything, and it finds another player in the history of the NFL that is built similarly, and it'll just kind of give you an idea of what type of player to expect. I love the Josh Jacobs comparable for Roschon Johnson. Obviously, here we are very high on him, and you're going to be able to get him later in your rookie drafts. And to have Josh Jacobs, a guy who just is coming off an RB1 season, I mean, that's fantastic. So that's someone I'm definitely going to be eyeing in my drafts, just because of that player comparable and everything we've been seeing from the Senior Bowl. Bijan Robinson being Marshawn Lynch, obviously, that's amazing. All of this stuff. So just keep your eye in as those get updated. It did look like not every single rookie had it, but most rookies have it. So just go click through. Go look at what players are comparable to who. That is all I have for the news. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to answer them. If not, everyone, just enjoy your weekend. Thank you for joining me for yet another week of the Wake and Take. I'll see you all bright and early Monday at 10 a.m. as usual on the Instagram, on TikTok, here on YouTube. And yeah, everyone have a fantastic day. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great weekend.
Hey, you like that video? Be sure to subscribe and activate those alerts so you get notified as soon as new videos drop. And be sure to check out PlayerProfiler.com. We have all the tools for you to dominate every type of fantasy league. We have a draft kit, Dynasty Deluxe, data analysis, DFS Dominator, and don't forget the player rankings to rule them all.